Sensational trial of a mother of two accused of hindering the investigation into the murder of her husband. Prosecutors say she was involved in a forbidden romance with her former boss, who was convicted of killing her husband last year. ABC's Steve Osunsami has the latest from Atlanta. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you, Robin. At the heart of this case is this question: was Andrea Sneiderman, a happily married mother, devastated by the killing of her husband, or was she a little too close to the man convicted of his murder? This morning, 37-year-old Andrea Sneiderman is facing more than a dozen charges of lying under oath, perjury, and hindering the investigation into her husband's murder.
The evidence will show how their relationship ended in the murder of her husband.
In opening statements Monday, prosecutors said they believe she was having an affair with the man who shot her husband in cold blood. And they say that she kept that important information from police, even while she was staring into the face of a police sketch of the shooter.
Silence despite her suspicions.
Her husband, Rusty Sneiderman, was shot in the chest outside this daycare in November 2010. He had just dropped off their young son. 6 weeks later, police arrested Hemi Newman, Andrea Sneiderman's supervisor at work, and he was convicted of murder just last year. At his trial, prosecutors were starting to strongly suspect that Andrea Sneiderman was having an affair with her boss.
Excuse me.
4 months after the trial, she was indicted. Prosecutors clearly didn't believe her when, under oath, she denied having the affair, saying she put up with Newman's unwanted advances to keep her job.
None of those feelings were ever returned.
But in court Monday, jurors heard from a waitress who said she saw the two passionately kissing on a business trip in South Carolina.
This was a kiss, like a loving kiss, like a passionate kiss, yes.
Her lawyers insist she did nothing wrong and that she gave police Newman's name within 36 hours.
People deny affairs. The component here is, was that done in such a way that the police and the prosecutor couldn't get the truth about what led to the death of Rusty Sneiderman?
A jury here will try to get at that truth. If convicted, she faces up to 10 years for each charge. Robin?
All right, Steve, thank you. We're going to bring in ABC News Chief Legal Affairs anchor Dan Abrams. How unusual is this case, especially when you think about the murder charge being dropped just days before it began?
Oh, it's really unusual. I mean, you started out with her as a co-conspirator to murder. Then they say, well, no, we're going to charge her as a party to the crime of murder. Then they drop that, and now they're basically prosecuting her on perjury counts and lying to the authorities. But what's really interesting is that during his trial, both the prosecution and the defense were suggesting that she was behind this. So I don't think it's any question the prosecutors still believe that she was involved in this murder. They just don't think they can prove it.
13 charges still, not the murder charge, but 13. What's the key issue here?
It's all about the affair. Did they have an affair or didn't they? Remember, she says there was no affair, that maybe he was obsessed with me, maybe he was stalking with me, maybe he was interested in me, etc., but I didn't have an affair with him. And prosecutors are saying, yes, you did. And why is that so important? It's not important as to whether they had an affair theoretically. What's important is, did she lie under oath about it? Did she lie to the authorities about it? And did those lies hinder the investigation in connection with this case? So while this is going to be a really tawdry case in terms of figuring out, was there an affair, wasn't there an affair, there are much broader legal issues behind that.
Trying to cover up some of that. They always say not the crime, it's the cover-up that gets you in the end. All right, Dan, thanks very much.